Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a Sudoku variant called Remainder Sudoku. So this Sudoku variant is actually featured in the recent SM contest that is still going on, and I would highly recommend you to give the contest. I haven't given it myself yet, but I'm really looking forward to giving the contest. And this Sudoku variant is featured in that contest. This is the IB puzzle, instruction booklet puzzle. So I thought of covering a video on this one. So the Sudokus are by James Peter, Madhav Shankar Narayan and Priyam Bhushan for the recent SM round, and I would highly recommend you to give the round. There will be excellent quality puzzles, top notch quality, and I'm also looking forward to giving it. Right. So coming on to this Sudoku. So I actually didn't knew the author of this Sudoku, and it was taken from the old LMI archives. So I have still mentioned the LMI Logic Masters India. The Sudoku is taken from LMI. So I would still want, if someone know that who is the author of this Sudoku, I would really want to appreciate it. And so before going to this Sudoku, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on regular basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, you can let us know in the comment below, and we will surely make a video on it. And now coming back to this Sudoku, so it's a good Sudoku, I would say. I'll brief you the rules of this Sudoku. Just a second, I got a call. I'll brief you the rules of this Sudoku. Okay, so when the classic Sudoku rules apply, you need to place digits from 1 to 9 in each. Sorry, I'll just remove the surface and I'll put the Sudoku. So you have to place digits 1 to 9 in each row, each column, and 3 into 3 box without repetition, right? Apart from that, you have some small numbers given between two adjacent cells, right? So those number indicates that when those two numbers are divided, when those two numbers are actually divided, is when the larger number is divided by the smaller number, the remainder is the clue that is given here, right? So if you have a 0, which means there is 0 remainder, and if you have a 1, that means when two numbers are divided, the larger digit is divided by the smaller one, you have a remainder 1. And when there is the 2, the same thing happens, right? So you need to find those two digits and solve the Sudoku, right? So with that we'll start solving this Sudoku. So the first thing that the most important thing in this Sudoku is, whenever you have the larger remainder, when you have the larger digits clues given, for example, if you have a 4 here, you have a 3 here, whenever you have those numbers given, you cannot have numbers below that. So for example, if you have a 4, you can never have 1, 2 or 3 and 4 as well, including the 4. So you can never have 1, 2, 3 and 4 in these cells. So whenever you have a 3 given, you can never have 1, 2 and 3 in those cells, because when you have that digit, you will never get a remainder greater than that number, right? That is never possible, because that has to be the smallest digit, and that has to be divided by the larger number will be divided, right? So that means you will never get the remainder that large. So whenever you have a larger digit, you can directly write that the digits smaller than those and including that digit will never be in these cells, right? So if you have a 4 here, you will never have 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the only digits possible are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and for the 4, 5 and 9 is the only possibility with the remainder 4, right? So you can just difference it out. 9 minus 5 is 4, and there is no other digits in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that can give you a remainder 4. So which means it would have to be 5 and 9. So I can write those here, 5 and 9, again 5 and 9, right? Easy thing. The other thing that you have to look out in this Sudoku is 1 will never be in a clue cell except 0. So whenever you have a 1, you can never have 1 in 1, 2 or 3 or 4 clue, because it will never leave a remainder, right? So which means 1 can never be written in a clue number. When 1 you cannot write here. So if you just see this row, you cannot have a 1 here, you cannot have 1 here, so this would have to be a 1. And which means this is already fulfilled now. Be it a 5 or 9, of course it doesn't matter for the 1, right? So 1 will never be in the same thing actually. So when you have a clue number, you know that that clue number will always have to be less than 1 or equal to 1, so 1 will never be in the clue number except for 0, right? The next thing is okay, the next thing that I will say is, when you have an even number, so when you have an even number, you can never have one odd or one even, right? That is never possible. So whenever you have an even digit, or just a second, oh okay, so sorry, that is possible, I'm sorry. You can have 3 and 8, that is one odd and one even. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, that is possible. Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll get some more tricks while solving it. So let's see if I'm able to solve it or not. And now I see that 1 2 3 4 6 7 and 8, right? You have 6 7 and 8. So 7 cannot be here, because then whatever you take with 6 or 8, the remainder will always be odd. So 7 cannot be here, which means 7 would have to be here. And for the remainder to be odd, you can have you cannot have 1, you can have 2, right? 2 is possible, 3 is also possible, 4 is not possible, 5 is not possible, 6 is possible. So there are only the possibilities that I have written here. Yeah, so 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here because it's a 1 or a 3 clue. 1 cannot be here for the same reason, so 1 would have to be in one of these two cells. Three, 4 and 7, so this cannot be a 3, because 3 clue can never have a 3. 4 and 7, 3 4 and 7. Okay, so 1 7 4, 2 and 3 won't come. 5 6 7 8, 5 6 8 and 9, I'm sorry. Okay, so if you have a 5 here, you need to have an 8. If you have a 6 here, you need to have a 9, for the remainder being 3. Okay, that is possible. Okay, let us see something else now. What do we get? Any more larger digits? Yeah, you have a larger digit here, but that won't be helpful. You have one more larger digit here. You cannot have 1, you cannot have 2 3, you can have 4 6 7 and 8, right? So if you have a 4, it would have to be 7. If you have 6, it is nothing. If you have 8, it is nothing. So 6 and 8 can be ruled out. It has to be 4 and 7, because 6 and 8, if you take 6 with any other 3 digits, 4 7 or 8, you can never get a remainder 3, right? And same way for 8. Okay, so which means 4 and 7 is the one that is working here. Okay, 4 7 5 9, 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here, so these two cells would have to be 1. You have a X string of 1 here, so 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here, these two cells would have to be 1 again. 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here, this cell would have to be a 1, if I am right. And this cell would have to be a 1, because no, sorry, this cell cannot be a 1, this cell would have to be a 1. 1 will always be in the 0 thing. Okay, 1 cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here, so this cell would have to be a 1, that gives you a 1 here. I think so we have got all the ones. So 1 cannot be here, cannot be here, so this cell would have to be a 1, that gives you a 1 here. So you have got all the ones now, because that was a very easy part, that 1 can never be on the clue cell except 0. That was really helpful. So you have a 3 4 7 here, and this will work with any of the clues 3 4 and 7. I am sorry, I need to write the candidates here. So 1 4 7 5 9, 3 6 8, 2 3 6 and 8, 3 6 and 8. If it is a 3 here, none of these will work, right? Same way if it is a 3 here, 8 can work. Okay, yeah, 3 with 8 will go here. 2, 3, 6 and 8. 2, 3, 6 and 8. Okay. So you cannot have 1, 2, 3, cannot have 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9. One other thing is that if you have an odd clue, both even are never possible, right? Both can never be even digits if you have odd clue. Of course, if you have an odd clue, both even are never possible. So does that help us? No. So if you have a 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 is possible. 5 is not possible, it won't go with both 4 and 7. 6 is also not possible, it won't go with both 4 and 7 to get the remainder 3. 7 is possible with 4. 8 is not possible and 9 is not possible. So it has to be 4 and 7. That's nice. We could have done that earlier. So 3 will always be 4 and 7 only. It can be 5 and 8 as well, right? But you already have 8 here. So that actually ruled out. Okay. So 5, 6, 8 and 9. 5 would go with 8, 6 would go with 9. Right? So if 0 is in 7, the only thing it will work with 1. 0 can never be in 7 if you don't have a 1. Same way, it's all a prime number, right? So 5, you can just take out the 5 as well. 7 cannot do with 9 because 9 will go with 3. Yeah, so 7 and 5. 7 and 5 can never go with 0 if you don't have a 1. Right? So this means that this would have to be a 4. That is a 7 here. And it can be 2. Can never be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 and 8 is possible here. So you have 4, 7, 1. 3 would have to be in one of these two cells, right? And it cannot be 5, it cannot be 6, it cannot be 7, it cannot be 8, it cannot be 9. It has to go with 2 only, right? Amazing. When you know that 3 would have to be in the 1 clue, the next digit cannot be 1, cannot be 2, can be 2, cannot be 3, cannot be 4, cannot be 5 because the remainder will be 2, cannot be 6 because the remainder will be 0, cannot be 7, cannot be 8 because the remainder will be 2 again, and cannot be 9 because the remainder will be 0. So it has to be 2, 3, that gives you an 8 here, removes 8 and 5 from here, that gives you 6, 9, that gives you 5 and 9 here. That was nice. That too gives you a 3 and a 2 here. So this again cannot be 6, 9, it has to be 5 and 8. 5, 8, 5, 9, 6, 8. So you have both 5s used, 8s used and 9s used. So this cannot be 8. Six with 7, 3 with 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 7. 7, 3, 5 and 6. 3, 5 and 6. 6 and 7. It can be 3, 5 is not possible, 6 is not possible, 7 is not possible. It has to be 3. So that removes 3 from these two cells. It is 5, 6 and this would have to be a 7. This 3 actually gives you an 8 here direct. That gives you 6 here, I mean to say that gives you... Oh, yeah. I removed 8 from here because of the X-wing of 8, right? That's nice. So that gives you a 6 here. That gives you 8 and 6. That gives you 8 and 5. That gives you 5 and 9. or we could have done that easily. That gives you a 3 here, and that gives you a 4 here. Okay, that 7 removes 7 from these two cells, and these two digits are 2 and 7, right, in any order. Again, 7 with 0 will always be possible only if you have a 1, so this has to be 2 and this has to be a 7. And if you have a 2 with 0, it would have to be an even digit here. This always would have to be an even digit, so you cannot have 2, you cannot have 8, you cannot have 6, that is 4. That gives you a 7 and a 4 here. So which means 2, 3 and 9, right? This is 2 and 9, but 9 won't go with 4 as a 0 remainder. So this is nothing but 3 and 9. 9 won't go with the 7 with the remainder as 1, so this has to be 3, this has to be 9. So okay, 2, 5, 6 and 9. These cells are 2, 5, 8 and 9. 5 and 9 cannot be here, so 2 and 8 cannot be here. You have a 5, 9 pair here, so which means this cell would have to be an 8. And if you have a 2 here, okay, the only possibilities are cannot be 1, cannot be 2, can be 3, cannot be 4, cannot be 5, can be 6, cannot be 7, cannot be 8, cannot be 9. But you already have a 3 here, so that gives you a 6 here. You remove 6 from these cells. I cannot undo here because it's a contest URL, so I cannot undo this. So 2, 3 and 8. 3 and 8, 2, 3 and 8, and I already deduced that 3 was possible here. Thank God. I think I removed 3 from these two cells, right, if I am not wrong. I remember removing 3 from these cells because it won't go with anything, but it is actually. Thank God. Thank God. I was saved. 3 will go with 8 because you have to keep in mind, sometimes you might get confused with the parity thing. Never use the parity thing, I am sorry, because that will really confuse you. Okay, so 6 with 3 can never be 1, can never be 2, can never be 3, neither it can be 4 or 5, cannot be 6, cannot be 7, cannot be 8, and the only possibility is 9, right? So 2, 8, 6, 1, 5, 9, 3, 4 and 7. 4, this is 3, 7, 3, this is 4 and 7. This 2 actually gives you an 8 and a 2 here. This 9 gives you a 5, a 9, a 5, a 9 here. So not 9 here, that would be here. Okay, so this is 6, 2 and 5. 5, 2 and 6, 2, 6, 5 and 6, and this is 2, 5 and 6. Okay, 2, 3, 8, 7, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 9. So this is 9, not here, that is 9, that is 1. 1 will go with the 0. Oh, we missed the 1 here. That's the only one that we missed in box 1. Box 1, very bad. Okay, so with the 9 being the highest digit, of course, now this digit would have to be the smaller one, so it can never be even, because then remainder will always be odd. Because so it can not be 2, 4, 6, 8, it cannot be 1, 3, it cannot be 5, so the only possibility is 7. That gives you a 4, 3 and 7, that this gives you a 5 or a 6. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8 would have to be somewhere here. Okay, this cannot be 9, so these cells are 9. So if you have a 9 here, the digit will always have to be even, it cannot be odd, because 1, 3, 5, 7, so it would have to be even. It can only be 2 or 4. 6 and 8 2, 4 and 8. Too many possibilities. Too many possibilities, guys. Seriously. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and 8. So this is 5, 6, 8. 3, 8. This is 5, 6. That can be anything. Okay, 3, 5, 6 and 8. 2, 6, 9 and 2, 3, 6 and 9. So 3 would have to be in one of these two cells. Okay, this would work. 2, 3, 6 and 9. 2, 5, 6 and 4. So 4 would have to be in one of these two cells. So okay, you can directly write that 2 will not go with any of these 3 or 8 to get the remainder 2. So which means, of course, 2 can never be in that remainder. So yeah, you get a 2 here. I could have done that because okay, 2 will never be in the 2 clue. I could have done that. This is not a 2. You get 2 in one of these two cells. 3 and 8 is there. 5 and 6. Come on. There might be something that I am missing here. This is done. Okay, this cell would have to be a 7, classic rules, which means to get the remainder 2, this would have to be a 5. 6, 9 and 8. 8, 6 and 9. 9, this is 6 and 8. What two digits can give you a remainder 2? It can only be 6 and 8. 6 and 9 or 8 and 9 is not possible. So 9 is not in this cell. 9 would have to be this. This is 6. 6 and 8. So this cell is a 9 now. This is 2. That is 6. This is 3. 6 and 8. So this is 5. 5 with a remainder 2 can only be 3. So this is 8, that is 3, that is 8, that is 6 here. These two cells are 8 and 4 in any order. So this is 4, that is 8. 3 would give you a 4 here. And 4 with remainder 1 can only be 5. So that is 6, that is 5. And that is 6. And the only digit remaining is 2. And with that we complete this amazing remainder Sudoku. I'm sorry I did many mistakes in between, but yeah, so the thing that you have to keep in mind is when you have a clue, you can never have a number lesser than or equal to the clue, right? First thing. Second thing would be if you have it, what did I say? Yeah. That is the main thing. Parity thing will actually confuse you because that will be very difficult. You have to just keep in mind which is the bigger digit, odd or even. Accordingly the parity will work with the remainder clue, right? So I hope you enjoyed this Sudoku. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.